Be honest. As a business owner, maybe you lead a team, you lead a company, maybe you're a consultant and you have a number of clients that you work with. Would you admit that if the truth be told, you're a little lazy? If you are a little lazy about your business or in your business, this is definitely the show that you want to be watching, because today we're talking about how do you win as a lazy CEO. And we're going to be able to do that with systems that you built around your personal style. There's going to be 4 systems that you need to have in your business to make it absolutely soar and take off. And that is what we're going to be talking about today as we dive deeply into how do you actually build a 360-degree biosphere in your business. And if you're not sure what a biosphere is, this is what we're going to be talking about today. And what does it look like? How do you build it? Why do you need it? And what happens if you don't use it? So these are the things we're going to talk about today in Iconic TV. I am your host, Dr. Connie Scavella, and you come here every Tuesday at 5 o'clock because you want to know what are the strategies, the principles, the real secrets of the high ticket earners. What are they doing to master their business and master their life? We're going to show you that today. So let's go ahead and dive deep in, because a lot of people are kind of wondering, well, what is a biosphere? What does it do? How does it work? Can you give me a little bit more detail on all of this crazy words here? So let's dive deep into it. What is it? How does it work? How do you build it out? So think about a biosphere. That's like the zone you're in, and the zone of your life. And your business and your life are really the same thing. And so it's a closed system, and it contains everything in it. All matter is in that. So it's a singular place where you put your whole iconic business, and it's the cornerstone of everything for your business and for your life. That's the biosphere that we're talking about. And this is the key to having 7-figure success. And so what we're going to do is we're going to build out your map, right? Your market acceleration plan. If you want to scale your business, if you want to dominate your market, disrupt your market, be distinguished in your market, then you need an actual plan, a singular system that's designed to transform your small business into an iconic legend. That is what we're talking about. And so we're going to build out the circle, the sphere. Think of it like a planet where the planetary system, right? Everything's circulating around and around. All of these are the systems that you need. And we're going to talk about these today, because the truth is that you need to stand out. The markets are so oversaturated. Why? Because the barrier to entry has come down. And when the barrier to entry is really low, more people are going to enter a market, and it's harder and harder to be distinguished, which is the first thing you always have to do when you're creating your business. And what do you want to do? You want to be the one that other leaders want to follow. That's really the key to how you build a 7-figure legendary business. And when you're thinking about this, like, how do I stand out? How am I different? Because you didn't create anything new, probably. You probably entered into a market that existed. You probably entered into that market because it existed, because it had a big TAM, total addressable market. And you thought, there's where I can make money. That's so true, but it's also where you can disappear. It's bad enough when your clients ghost you, but what about if they can't even find you? And you want to be able to not slave in your business and just sit there and put out content and DMs and all this stuff over and over again with no results. You want to have impact. And once your business starts to take off, which it will if you consistently build and follow the disciplines, then you need a way to make it continue to spin and continue to produce revenue, whether you're actively working in your business or not. And that's where we want to go. So that's how you become the leader others want to follow. I have a treat for you today. Stay tuned, because I know if you're on the internet, you haven't missed this. There's a new book that came out by Alex Hormozy, and he had a Guinness record-breaking day of $100 million launch, and it's called the $100 million models. And there's 4 models that he talks about. We call them in our business over these past 20 years, call them profit levers. And these are the levers you can pull, almost like a jackpot lever, that will actually start to make you money. So he dives deep into 4 of them. I finish out with the 12, right? So there's 12 total. And so I'm going to give you both his 4 and our 8, and I'm going to show you how to get those coming up. All you have to do is stay tuned. So when we're thinking about some of these systems, if you look at it, things don't really change. Okay, we're still doing the same fundamental things in business, aren't we? Like, look way back then in the 50s, yeah, you still had all this marketing and this stuff that you had to do. And then today, it's the same thing, different platforms, same process. This is all about systems and having it in a system, in a sequence, in a structure that's unique to you, your own biosphere, right? A living, breathing business. And when you think about how do I do this, when you get started, it's overwhelming, it's confusing. There's pieces and parts everywhere. And what you are building with a biosphere is you are building an esymplastic system. Esymplastic, which is my favorite word, means the ability for one to unite disparate parts into one unified whole, right? We talk about this a lot, singularity and having a singular focus. We're going to dive deep into this in a minute. So esymplastic, you're going to take all these spinning planets, okay? Maybe you are spinning plates, and you're going to put it into one unified whole. And this is what it looks like. So now you have an operating system plus your strategic plan plus accountability, and that's how you have success. And then you see it becomes that cube. We always talk about this here, right? The model of our business is a cube. And this thing is, right, it's just like this. It's perfectly square, balanced at all times. That's what you want your business. But there's also depth to it. And we're going to build out the depth today so that you have 4 simple steps that you can follow all the time in your business. And business should be simple. But why doesn't it happen? Right? Well, you can have all the greatest technology and all the systems and it looks good. Why don't systems happen? We ask a lot of people this. One of the big reasons is it becomes invisible, just like a stealth fighter. You built out all the systems, but you forget to go there. You forget to use it. Like, oh yeah, I did do that. So what do other people say? Let's take a look at what some other people say about systems. It's like, oh, that's boring. It's like saying, let's do accounting or something like that. No offense to you accountants. But for some of the people, they say, you know what? Well, the price is just prohibitive for me to do something like that. I want to build these things out, but I don't know if I can afford to. Right? Hey, it's hard. It's hard to figure it out because I don't even have a PhD, someone might say. Or it's so boring. Or like we talked about stealth. Oh gosh, I forgot to check it. And then of course, one of the classics is, hey, I don't need that. I just kind of follow my gut. I do what I feel, So which one are you? What is the reason you haven't built out your own biosphere in your business? Because it is the key to having a 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure business. Every one of those kind of businesses have this, but do you? So what do you need to do? In order to build out your biosphere, there are people that need to run this whole thing. Okay, you can't do it all by yourself, especially when you're in the millions of dollars in your business. So these are the players that you need to have, right? You need your client success, you need HR, you need sales and marketing and operations and the leadership. All of that is essential when you're trying to grow and scale your business. But for right now, you might not have all of that. You might not have all of these people and all these parts. So you do have to begin where you are, okay? And so where is it that you are beginning? Where are you starting with this whole process? If we take a closer look, let's see what kind of businesses can you build and grow, and where is it that this comes into play? Your biosphere is going to signify how profitable you are. And I want you to take a look at some of these charts here, because if you look at the top industries, there's a power curve that happens. And what I did is I did some research. What are the top industries? Now, this is what McKinsey put out. Okay, let me show you how this looks. So I want you to find your industry. If your industry is not on here, let me know and we can help you pick the right industry to go into. So this power curve of profit, right? There are some people at the low end and some people at the high end. Now, in 10 years, right, only 1 out of 12 companies actually makes it into the top quartile of that business. So those are the 10 industries. But guess what? This chart is from 2016. And so look at this. Now, I want you to take a look at this. These are the top 10 industries that are happening right now. So how did they change? And do you want to know why they shifted? And if your industry is not on there, let's have a conversation, okay? Go to callconnie.com and book a call, and we can help you figure out, what do I need to do to get in the top 10 industries where I have a greater likelihood of making profit? And the key here is these top industries are the most innovative. They're the most creative. They're not stagnant in their industries. Now let's compare how they look side by side. And when you look at it this way, here's where it gets really interesting, is the gold ones over here are from 2016. And so you look at those, and then they changed in this current year. And the ones in blue are brand new to the chart as far as this top quartile, right? And so are you in there, right? And the ones that are in bold, right? Hey, guess what? They started falling out of that. So industries change, right? Markets change, timing changes. You have to be in the right business at the right time with the right product and the right audience. So sometimes your audience can completely dry up. Look at, let's say, NFTs, right? There was a big interest in it, and then it kind of dried up for most people. So are you in the right place at the right time? That's where you want to build systems so that you can get there and stay there. But the question most people ask is, well, with all these things I have to do, what am I even doing with my time? What am I doing with my day? And how do I track it? How do I make sure I am doing the right things? I am in the right place and in the right markets? This is a question a lot of people are wondering, like, where does the time go? Gosh, so another week. Oh my gosh, we're 3/4 of the way through the year or whatever. Okay. And did you hit your goals? Well, here's how businesses actually allocate their time and their focus. This is a pie chart here. And take a look at this, because see where you are. Does this match what you are doing in your business? And if you take a closer look, you can see sales and marketing and finance, accounting, operations, the legal aspects, the technology, the human resources, strategy. These are the places that business owners are spending their time. And how much of that are you allocating, right? So if you want, you've heard the things that what gets measured gets done. Okay. Well, also what's getting done needs to be measured. So both are important. And how are these systems going to come and play? You take all of those key areas where people are focused, and now each one of those needs to be a system, right? Part of your esymplastic system. And now they can all talk to each other. So you're not just doing one thing and then that plate stops spinning and then you do something else and that stops spinning, right? You have to actually have an oversight of everything. And so this is Iconosphere. This is our software. We put everything into one place, one unified whole place. I'm going to walk you through this so you know exactly where everything is. It's like your dashboard for your entire business. Wouldn't that be so easy? Because when you look at how everything rolls, this is our system. This is what we take businesses through. And when you work with us, we will take you through a process like this, but customize it to you. And there's 4 phases. Each one of these phases, you have to build a system in so that all of the places can turn together, right? There's harmony here and not chaos. But what happens? How do we know what to do, when to do it? One of the things that you can do, and I love doing these, this is called a business premortem. And let me tell you about this. We've talked about this here before. A premortem, you think about a postmortem, right? Somebody dies, you do an autopsy, the coroner comes in and he says, this is why this person died. Well, that does a lot of good. You want to figure out before your business dies, why would it have died? That's a premortem. So you figure out, oh, we're going to do this, launch this experiment. We're going to do this funnel. We're going to send out these series. We're going to go on a tour, whatever it is. And then you sit down and you figure out, what are all the reasons why? If we plan to do this, why wouldn't it have gone right? And then you start fixing those systems. That's the beauty of doing these premortems and applying it into your business. Figure it out before. Don't have any regrets. Okay. This is all about preparation. I'll tell you the number one reason why people lose confidence, why they have imposter syndrome, why they don't move forward is because they're not prepared. And you want to figure out, what is my strategy then? Okay. If I know these are the places I could fall apart, that are my Achilles heel, these are the bottlenecks, the breaking points that could harm my ability to profit and grow and scale, then you need a strategy to put in place. So let's look at these milestones of success. And it's simple. Okay. Business is simple if you know what steps to be doing. Okay. There's not a lot of them. Don't believe there's 15 or 7 or 20. Okay. Focus on these 3 right now. Number 1, the first thing you have to think about is clarity, right? And the clarity is like, exactly what am I going to do? And what is the structure that I'm going to do it in? And if I do that, guess what's going to happen? The outcome is you're going to be able to generate lots of leads. That's what everybody says. They come to us for money and I say, what's the big problem? I don't have enough leads. Well, we got to get you clear first. Okay. Once you have that clarity that you can generate business, now you've got some clients. Okay. And from that stage, you want to figure out, okay, now how do I take this and then how do I stabilize it? How do I make sure these clients keep coming in day and night, no matter what? Okay, once you do that and you have them coming in, then you convert them. Okay, when you know how to convert them, then what happens? You have cash flow. And with that cash flow, now you're thinking about who else do I need to bring in here to grow and keep this business going? And then that's where you're getting a focus on scaling. How am I going to scale this now? And then when you can do all that, you're fulfilling everything and people keep coming in. That's what we're going to show you in a second. One of the 4 systems that you're going to build. And before we do that, I want to ask you, what stage of business are you in? I like to say there's 4 stages. So you pick. There's the seedling. Are you a seedling? Like you started off with another company and then you're like, I can do better than this. I kind of break. I'm a little offshoot of that and start my own thing because I think I can do it better. Maybe you're the tumbleweed and you just keep rolling around from thing to thing to thing and you keep accumulating projects, courses, ideas, right? You spent hundreds of hours watching videos on things, but you didn't learn anything, right? A tumbleweed is pretty hollow and nothing sticks. Okay, but sticks. So the other one is maybe you're a tree stump. You had a good solid business, but then you just kind of cut it off. Like you stopped doing the things that actually worked. And now you're wondering, what's happening? And then there's the bamboo. You've been at this so long, right? So long. Someday something's going to grow out of this. I know it's going to be there. It's coming soon. It'll be huge someday. Okay. Which stage of business are you in? And let me know. Put it down in the comments below. While you're putting things in the comments, go ahead and subscribe. This is a new YouTube channel for us, so go ahead and join that. If you're watching on another social channel, connect with us and join our groups. We have lots of fun stuff every time we give you some free tools and gifts and resources. So keep coming back every Tuesday. Now, here we go. Let's dive into this really quick. We've got a few minutes left and let's look at these 4 ways that you're going to build out these systems so that you actually use them. We're going to talk about flow, chart, wheel, and systems. Okay. And you can pick, you can do all of them. People have different personality styles. Some will like some parts of your business will work better for different styles. You decide. But what we're doing is building out a profit pathway for you. Again, this is our model. This is our 7-figure CEO formula. It's so simple, right? There's just 3 layers to it and 3 steps within each layer. That's how easy it is to build a 7-figure business. We're going to look today at sales. If we're going to build out a sales system, here's the interesting fact that 83% of all sales happen after the 13th touch point. Are you making 13 touches with your clients? Probably not. So how much business are you leaving on the table? Well, 60% of sales happen after the 4th touch point. Are you at least getting there? No. Why? Because most of the people that if you do a survey, they do 1 or 2 touch points and then they stop connecting. So there's a lot of money left there. And so let's dive into flows. These are some flows. This is what we call the move system. If you want to generate leads, this is an ideal system. We can share this whole process with you. All you have to do is ask. And it's an acronym. And you're just going to flow from one stage to the next. Picture like a baseball diamond, right? You're going to go from one base to the next. So the first base is meet. You want to meet people. Then you want to create an offer for them. Give them an offer. Hey, can I get you a resource? We have 250 different resources for free that we will happily hand you just so you can grow your business. So we'll offer you a resource and then we'll verify, did that work for you? Are you the right person for us? Should we go to the next step? And then we enroll you into the next step. It might be a call. It might be a workshop. It might be into a program. That's how simple it is. That's how you move people through the sales cycle. In those 4 steps, you're seeing a pattern here of 4s, right? Now, let's dive deeper into this. I want you to take a closer look at this because this is the sales system of what happens, right? First, you have suspects, prospects, then you engage them, you nurture them, you book your call, and then they become a client. That's how simple it is, okay? So begin with the end in mind. What is the end? Maybe you want 10 new clients this month. Hopefully you are high ticket. If you're not high ticket, please come talk to us. We'll show you how to ramp up your offer and make sure you are high ticket and you're at the high level so you can attract quality people. Let's say you need 10 people, okay? 10 clients, 10 customers. What does that mean? That's the last step that's going to happen. But then the next step is how many calls do you need to make in order to have 10 clients? Well, assuming a 33% close ratio and a 20% no-show, then you're going to need 36 calls to get 10 clients. Easy math, right? And then how many do you need to engage? Okay, so you're going to need to engage and nurture and have conversations with 180 people to get those 36 calls so that you can have 10 clients based on the average number of calls and show-ups, okay? Then what? To get those people to engage and nurture and connect with, you need about 1,800 prospects, right? You need a bigger pool of people so that you can figure about 10% are worth engaging with, and that'll get you to that 180. So do you have right now 1,800 people in your universe? Yes? No? If not, do you need to increase that? Hop on a 10-minute call with us and we'll give you 3 strategies that you can do to increase that. And then how many suspects, right? Based on that rate, then you're going to need 2,700 suspects to become before they become prospects. Okay? So that's how it works. That's a system. That's a flow that you can go through. There's 3 others that I'm going to show you. Okay, then we go into charts. Charts are fun, especially if you are a little bit more left brain than linear, and flow charts are awesome, but they also work for you right brain picture people. Okay, and it's in the design, right? So you want to be able to do this so that it orders up your chaos. Things aren't all over the place. You know where you're going, what step you're on, right? And less is more when you're doing this. You don't need a bazillion steps. You need to just track the right things. And that way you have an easy, clear path to follow. So it really is helpful. And this really helps you like narrow in on KPIs, and you can verify the steps. And you always want to, you do these charts and these flow charts, and like, I wonder if it's working. Well, this will help you. And then you can look at the KPIs and figure out, what do I need to measure? And I always encourage people to start building out your systems, like your flow charts. Just grab a whole bunch of sticky notes and put them on the wall or the patio door or something, and lay it out, and then formulate it into a chart. And I'll show you a 7-figure flow chart that you can actually follow. So there's different ways you can build flow charts. Okay, you can use a process flow chart, and that really helps you figure out the different roles and responsibilities of people. You see this a lot with an org chart. And then data charts are great when you're figuring out systems and behaviors of different people and processes. That's where a data chart will come in handy. Workflow charts, who's going to do what at what period of time. This is another way that you can look at it. And I always love the swim lane charts. And let me show you what these look like. So when you're developing swim lanes, right, this is all part of an iconic process. First, you start with a legend, and the legend will say, okay, this is our starting point. This is the activity. These are decision points, and these are process steps. So every little shape has a function, so you can visually look at it and know what's happening. So if you want to see what happens, you take all these swim lanes, and then this is actually one of our flow charts that we use to scale to 7 figures in about 9.5 months. And so what are these different lanes? So you have awareness first. What happens in the awareness phase, where people finally see you? Okay, they become aware of you. Then we engage them. That's our next swim lane. We offer maybe a subscription, like come subscribe here, or subscribe to our newsletter, or whatever it is. Okay, and then the conversion. Then they get excited, they ascend to the next level, and then they become evangelists to your system. So this is exactly what we did, our exact system. You see how simple that is? It doesn't have to be complicated. Remember, Occam's razor, less is more, just exactly what you need and nothing extra. And so swim lanes are great. Now the wheels. Wheels are fun. And wheels can really move your business. I'm going to show you a few of these. Flywheels, right? Amazon and Jeff Bezos is famous for talking about flywheels in his books. So here's a very simple way to look at a flywheel. It's like the process that is going around. What keeps this thing spinning, right? You might give someone first a taste of what you do. You tease them first, and they're like, that's interesting. And then you give them a taste of what you do. And then they have a transition and a transformation, and then they're going to tell other people, right? It just goes around like that, from a tease to a taste to a transform to a tell. And you can then put what are the steps that people are going to go through with you. The other way, if you want to look at what we do, is one of ours is that we do a lot of workshops. And I'm going to give you guys those books that I showed you in the beginning, $100 million models. Come to one of our workshops online or in person. Come to a workshop, enroll, and have a transformation and refer others. Just today, I had 2 people come in as referrals to one of our workshops. They're like, oh, you have got to go to one of Connie's workshops. Okay. So now, if we look at the next phase in our process here, in our process chart, and this flow chart, if we look at the third part about dominating your market, how do you dominate your market? So we can take a look at these, and there's 3 parts in dominating your market that you need to do. The first thing is you have to have real A players. Right? You need star staffing in your business. And if you want to hire to scale, then this is your flywheel, right? Maybe you need your support team first, and then your sales team, and then your process systems, and your tech, and your executive team. And those are the people that you might need to hire in that phase, okay? So another flywheel is for your sales. You need strategic sales systems. So you might have a client acquisition, then you have product fulfillment, and then you have referral systems, and then you might have business acquisition. You have this income coming in, and now you're like, hey, let's add in another business rather than starting one from scratch. So then the third part about dominating your market is you need to systemize to scale. You want source systems. So you want to start with your SOP library, build out a training and development center so everybody can go there. It's all automated. And then your process engines, and then your people movers. Who's going to make all of this move? So you see how these are just really easy wheels to get your business going. There's also wheels for storytelling. Every business needs a great story. And Joseph Campbell's hero story, right? It's a wheel, right? And you can look at that and aligns with the source systems. We also do businesses, right? Help you build out your own business consulting system. And if you want to see how that looks, this is the flywheel for that, right? And we'll create all of your websites for you. We'll mentor you privately so you can grow your business and build it all out. We build profit machines and software, give you all the software that you would ever need. All right. And then we build an online business system. All these systems I'm talking about, we give it to you and hand it to you. And then what do you need in this 360 business empire as a consultant? Well, we want to have your branding right for you. And we also give you books. Let's write some books for you so you can have that authority. And then you want to have your own go-to-market strategic plan. That's your way of getting business. People want to get business different ways. You need your way and your IP, and then get certified. That's how we build out 7-figure consultants in our company, and we do it all for you. So it's 100% turnkey. That's ExecuTurn. If you want to know more about it, go to ExecuTurn or Layoff to Launchpads, and that will show you exactly how that system works. It's super cool. If you are sick and tired of the corporate game and you want to break away, or maybe you're forced away, think about becoming a consultant at what you're expert at. So go to layoffforlaunchpads.com, and we have workshops coming up on that too. Strategic management, there's a system, a flywheel for that. So you can see there's so many systems. This is the wheel. And really quickly, I'm going to go through actual whole systems. There's a lot here. Please feel free to ask for a tour and a demo of these systems. So we have profit systems that we can show you, and all kinds of fun things. Okay. Marketing systems. This is, again, the Iconosphere system, how everything is laid out for your marketing. Content creation. How do you organize it and put it together so you're not struggling every day and can reuse things as you want? What's your system for social media? How do you put it all up there? How do you know when to do it? How do you track it all? We have systems for that. Onboarding, because you're going to be building a team, and where do you put everything so that it can be a smooth, flawless onboarding. If you don't onboard people right, they are going to leave. They know within the first week whether they want to stay with you or not. And that onboarding system is really going to help determine that. Of course, you need to generate leads. How are you going to do that? Where are you going to do it? Lead magnets. We have, like I told you, over 250 different resources, and we have them all in systems based on the type of category and the need of somebody in the industry. And so we can just quickly click, and then you have it like that. That's why you always get those within 24 hours. What's your back office system? How do you organize this? How do you get your key KPIs and your OKRs and your SOPs? Everything is organized. All your planning is done in a system, right? And how do you structure that? Go from one to the next. What do you put inside? What do you leave out? Right? It's very clean, right? Don't have to worry about making it too complex. What about automated AI lead systems? We do that too. And we know, so we don't have to go in every day and type and do all those sort of things. Communication systems are really important as well. So how are you communicating with your team, with your clients? I don't do email. So we actually have our own internal communication system that we use, and everybody communicates with us that way 24/7 whenever they want to. In the background, you hear one of our communication systems, if you can hear that. Authority systems. How are you going to get people to give you reviews and recommendations, and where do you put it, and how do you build that authority automatically? We have recruiting systems. You can go to jobs.theiconicbrands.com and see all the jobs that we're hiring for right now. So we have our own website for that. It's completely automated and everything. We use AI and we get the applications, the videos, the assessments. We can rate them and grade them and follow up and hire them and deliver their contracts, everything. It's so simple. Do you have a system like that? If you don't, you're probably not hiring. It's hard on your own. We have systems to audit your time and energy and where everything goes, and we can see, where am I spending my time? Why is things not getting done? We can audit all of that for you, right? So putting all that together, I know it's a lot, right? It feels like a fire hose, but that's your operating system, your strategic system, having accountability built in, and that's how you have a successful 7-figure business. So if you want to see any of these strategies in detail and you want a strategy for yourself, because if you don't have these 4 and you don't have a biosphere, you're struggling. I promise you. That's probably why you're here watching, because something is missing in your business and you just don't know how to fix it. You are not esymplastic. You are just a whole bunch of spinning planets, right? So we want to get you an easy strategy. Just go to callconnie.com. It's 10 minutes. Tell me what your issue is, and then I'll either hand you some free stuff, or I'll point you in the right direction, or I'll dive deeper on a call with you. One of those are the 3 options for you. But I can't tell you anything in 10 minutes, so just jump on and we'll go from there. Of course, we have free gifts for you today, so you can scan that and get the free gift. And again, here's everything that we want you to do and have. So come to one of our workshops. If this is fun, this is like 30 minutes on steroids, right? There's so much more we can talk about. So come to a workshop, and there are a couple hours. We have a 2-hour workshop and we have a 4-hour workshop. You can come to any of those. They are 100% free, and some are location based and some are virtual. Just go and go to the iconicworkshop.com and find out, or go to to launchpad.com and you can come to one of those. And of course, if you come to one of our workshops, we would love to get you these gifts and give you a hardbound copy of where is my copy? It's somewhere here, of the $100 million models, and of course the other 8 secret models that come with that. So everything is yours. All you have to do is ask, okay? And be sure, as we say every week, if you really want to grow your business, if you have a highly interesting company and you are ready to scale that to 7 figures and beyond, and you just don't really understand how to make it simple, that's what we're here for. Book a call with us and come back next Tuesday at 5 p.m. I have a really cool thing next week on branding that you're absolutely going to love. So come back here next Tuesday at 5 p.m. And until then, be iconic.